So, I was sitting here. I'm Mark Henry, by the way, author of the Amanda Farrell zombie series. Battle of the Network Zombies in store now. Store. I say store because I only know of one. I'm sure there are more. So I was sitting here thinking, what am I going to vlog about for Sidhevicious? Which, by the way, is the most awesome name for a blog. And I couldn't think of anything. And I started just doing sort of off-the-cuff recordings. And they were really depressing and pathetic and sad and not at all glamorous and exciting or funny. And so I put a call out on Twitter, and if you're not following me, you should be, Mark_Henry. And got a couple of suggestions, two that I really want to go with. One was from @Celestial, Selestial, and hers was, what wouldn't you write if someone put a gun to my head? I think she means genre-wise. What wouldn't I write? I'm going to say inspirational romance, or frankly, any romance that didn't have hardcore pounding in it. I wouldn't write anything that... that's not true. I was going to say I wouldn't write anything that I had to suppress a part of my personality for, but that's not true because I just finished a YA book where I feel like I completely suppressed my personality. Because I have a dirty mind, folks. I have a seriously dirty mind, and I know that YA is very liberal, and people think that you can do just about anything in YA. But believe me, the stuff that comes out of my head you cannot do in YA. You can't. You just can't do it. Believe me. My first attempt at YA, with the same character actually that's in the book I just turned in, my first attempt with her, I gave a couple of chapters to my agent, and he just responded with, no. Just no. Absolutely not. That can't even... that would be scoffed at. There are scoff laws for that kind of thing. And so, yeah, so why, obviously I'll do that. I'll do that with, with a gun pointed to my head, I'll do it. A Western. That's the one. That's the one. You'd have to shoot me before I did a Western. You would have to shoot me in the head. Or my dick. You'd have to shoot me. That would be pure misery. Pure misery. Or any sort of textbook on anything that wasn't about how to be a perv or how to be snarky. I think that would just about kill me. All right. So the other suggestion that came from @JWells, Jaye. You may recognize that name as being an urban fantasy author, much like myself. I guess what she does is actually probably more urban fantasy than what I do. I do more of a comedy framework. I'm not really interested in whether anyone's being heroic or whether it's an adventure. In fact, that changes from book to book, and I don't really care. It's more about the characters for me, and for making people laugh or squirm or feel ashamed of themselves. I love it when readers say that they're ashamed of themselves for laughing at something that I wrote, which just makes me all giddy. But there's a character in Battle of the Network Zombies, that one, on shelf now, somewhere, I'm sure. There's a character named Tanisha Jones, Dragwolf, WULF. She's an artist, an impersonator, and also a werewolf. And Jay wants to know who would win in a smackdown between Tanisha Jones, seen here, as portrayed by RuPaul, the fantastic RuPaul of RuPaul's Drag Race. If you're not watching that on Logo and VH1, you're insane, because that's some of the craziest reality television, just period. Particularly last week's tribute to Match Game from the 70s called Snatch Game, which was awesome. Or RuPaul, okay, Tanisha Jones, as portrayed by RuPaul, or, and we'll leave it here, Divine. Now, many of you know that I draw a lot of influence from John Waters films, and not really the new stuff. Nothing really past Pecker, because that one with Melanie Griffith made me want to vomit. Really, it was just it hurt me. It hurt me what had happened. But the old Divine stuff is pretty crazy, and frankly, Divine will do anything. And I think even RuPaul, all 7-foot spiked heels of him, her, will absolutely, unequivocally fail to Ru will rue the day she came across Divine. I think that's pretty obvious, right? So yeah, Divine is a person who's eaten dog poop, fresh steaming dog poop, on camera. I mean, there was no way that they fixed that, because John Waters didn't have special effects in his movies. There was no special effects. It was pre-special effects. But just that was disgusting. I mean, this is a. I mean, Divine was insane and fantastic and bigger than life and just great. Much like RuPaul. RuPaul is too. But so I think that probably Amanda Farrell, my main character, is probably more like Divine than Tanisha. Then Tanisha Jones, Drag Wolf, is like RuPaul. I'm not sure who Tanisha Jones takes after, but I think you'll like her in Battle of the Network Zombie. Or maybe not. So I think that's gonna be it. Those are my 2 questions that I was going with. And if you guys have questions, feel free to make a list for me, because I would love to have a list of blog topics that I could pull from, because sometimes it is a nightmare coming up with these blogs. It is really bad. And if I had to write it, I'd still be sitting here. As it is, Judy has been waiting for weeks for this. Seriously. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to give this away. I'm not going to give it away because it's out. Someone needs to buy something. I'm going to give away a copy of the mass market paperback of Happy Hour of the Damned, even though it kills me. This is a for real live post office bill from today. This is the receipt. This is the receipt of all. Yeah, $52 worth of postage to send out prizes for these contests. So, step up. That, because it really sucks when there's like 7 comments and, whatever. Anyway, ask me questions. You have to ask me a question to be entered. You can't just say, love the vlog. That is not an entry. No. We're playing hardball. Because you know who would play hardball? These 2.